Well, the latest Westpac Consumer Sentiment Survey has just been released. What does it show? More of the same, mostly. Consumer sentiment was literally unchanged over the month to February. Of course, the world didn't stand still. If anything, it's the exact opposite, going by global developments. The last month has been extremely turbulent. And that flat result really reflected two opposing forces working on consumers at the moment. On the positive side, the low inflation outcomes have bolstered confidence in the inflation fight and the prospect of interest rate cuts over the course of this year. That's an important positive. But against this, that more turbulent global backdrop does look to be weighing on expectations for the economy. So a flat result overall, but a lot going on in the detail. The detail also suggests that there may have been a bit more of a post-Christmas hangover for some households. Assessments of family finances compared to a year ago dipped month to month. That may also reflect some of the impact from last year's tax cuts starting to fade. And of course, it does reflect that cost of living pressures are still with us. Inflation has slowed, but prices are still high relative to incomes. And overall, we think that'll be a slow road to recovery for consumers. And consumer sentiment overall is cautiously pessimistic. It's in the low 90s. We're out of the deep, dark hole that we were in during the cost of living crisis over the last 2 years, but we're not back to outright optimism. Where consumers are optimistic is around the outlook for family finances. They're outright positive on expectations for the next 12 months. A lot of that obviously comes back to the mortgage belt, where confidence in prospective rate cuts has built over the last couple of months. In fact, households with a mortgage, over half of them expect rates to move lower over the next 12 months. That compares to about a third a couple of months ago. So confidence on that front has definitely improved. But on the other side of things, that assessment around the economy has looked a little bit shakier over the last few months. And that looks like that might be a theme for this year. We do expect the RBA to deliver rate cuts. In fact, beginning in a little over a week, we expect a first move from the RBA, and that'll bolster confidence around inflation and interest rates. But it's going to be a slow process, and the degree of easing is likely to be fairly measured. We think 1 percentage point of easing around rates, one move every 3 months. And against that, this turbulent global backdrop is going to continue to reappear. Of course, we've got our own political timelines domestically, with a federal election scheduled most likely in May. It looks like it might be a bumpy year for consumers, notwithstanding a bit of a flat month overall in February.
The content of this recording is informational and of general nature only, and is not intended to constitute a research report or reflect any recommendation or financial advice. It has been prepared without taking into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs, and investment decisions should not be based on it. You should obtain your own independent advice before proceeding with any investment decision. Whilst every effort has been taken to ensure that the contents are correct and any opinions, forecasts, conclusions are reasonably held based on information at the date of recording, Westpac does not make any representation or warranty as to the accuracy or completeness of the statements or information contained in this recording, and any liability therefore is expressly disclaimed to the extent permitted by law. None of the material included in this recording should be copied, published, or reproduced in whole or in part without the prior written permission of Westpac.